Oh, Caitlin.
Morning.
We got so much to go through.
Good morning.
On this show. It's at least okay. Bright skies.
Yeah.
Okay. Bright skies on a Monday.
It's cold. What were you about to say about Jake?
Jake Hamilton did a story a couple weeks ago. He was live at the Hollywood Theater where they were about to auction off a bunch of things. I have placed a bid on a pair of restaurant booths.
How much?
I put 150 down, or like as a
what are you
starting
gonna do
bid.
with those?
They're going in. Well, if I get them. Thank you, Jake Hamilton, by the way. It was a great story. There was an auction going on. It's the old, I think it's called the Hollywood Theater. I can't remember the suburb it's in, but they're auctioning off all kinds of cool old stuff.
This is gonna go in your basement.
Yes, for the basement, because we're doing like a restaurant booth kind of thing. So I just placed the bid.
That would be perfect.
Send me good vibes.
This is so fun.
Yeah.
Very exciting. Wow.
Very exciting.
What a purchase.
Thank you, Jake Hamilton, for that. And so we did a segment a couple weeks ago on this whole looks maxing trend.
Yes, with dudes.
With dudes.
Yeah.
And it is so wild, but it is like reached, what's the phrase, like cultural zeitgeist? Like it's reached SNL. It was parodied. I don't know if we have a clip. Adina, did we get that racked? Okay, this is the best. You got to look at this clip. Okay, so this is a clip on Weekend Update making fun of the whole looks maxing trend. Essentially, it's a internet subculture of dudes, young dudes, who prioritize their looks.
I don't.
Yeah. That's a whole thing. She has, or the looks maxer portrayed has taken so much testosterone injections, TRT, that she's grown a second Adam's apple.
Yeah.
Okay, the hammer there, do you know what that's about?
No.
All right, that's called bone smashing. No, bone smashing.
What? Wait, does people actually do this?
Okay, so this is what happens. This is totally ridiculous, but they tap on their jawbones. They tap on their jawbones because they think that the micro stress of the tapping of the jawbones will cause the bone to grow back bigger, so you get bigger jaws. You get a bigger jawline. Honestly, I laugh, but it is also disturbing. I've got a 10-year-old kid, okay, and he's like, you know, he's got hair product and stuff. Like I'm like, you better not go down this road. This is okay. So they spoofed it on SNL. There's the mega hit podcast, The Daily, that's done by the New York Times, has an entire episode about it that was released either yesterday or today. So I was listening to this on my way in. It is kind of frightening. Caitlin, you could probably tell me, I'm not going to have you answer the question, but you could probably tell me your height and weight, right?
I'm like 5'4".
You don't have to answer.
Like
I'm not.
pounds.
Okay.
I don't care. 5'5".
People know their height and weight.
Sure.
These guys, they know their number of inches from shoulder to shoulder. Like I'm at 19.3 inches. That's up from. They know their deltoid bicep ratio.
And this is serious. This isn't a joke.
It's serious. No, I'm not kidding. He knows the ratio. This guy they interviewed, his name is Clavicular. He knows the ratio. That's his nickname. They have these remember you remember American Gladiators? They all have like names like Turbo and Tron. And, like these guys have these like, it's a whole subculture. And this guy's the New York Times people interviewed the leading guy in it. He's out in Arizona. He's 20 years old. The amount of drugs and injections that he puts into his body is frightening. They didn't even have time to list all the things he takes, from testosterone to.
It's just this is not going to last.
I mean,
the ladies aren't going to like it.
Well, they don't. They spoof that. They bring in a lady to talk to this character, and the person can't even speak when the lady's actually like right next to him. But here, back to the stats they know. Caitlin, this will give you an idea of the specificity and the obsession of these folks. He knows the ratio of the distance. It's some kind of ratio that's supposed to enhance your looks. The distance between your pupils and your mouth. That's a thing. Oh, and the distance between your lip and your nose. Like all these things that, I don't know if like Leonardo da Vinci or like the Greeks, the great ratio, the golden.
I've heard about that. Golden ratio.
Right. There's a, but it goes on and on. And these guys are fixated on it, and it's a wild listen. I am like 30 minutes into this podcast.
How can we fix this as a society? Is it social media? It's too much TikTok dancing.
We need to find an expert. But no, honestly though, like I am seriously, there's like a sliver of me that is like I want to make sure to protect.
Is this the
my
dads
son.
that need to instill this security in their kids? Do you think?
Yeah.
Like let's go throw a baseball in the yard and stop measuring our face.
It's insane.
I hate that.
It's no good.
We've talked about how before the girls have been dealing with this.
That was your reaction when you first heard the phrase, looks Mac saying, you're like, well, welcome to what we've been worrying about for decades. So yeah.
I worry about the same thing with my daughters, and I don't think that's going anywhere anytime soon. They all compare the things. Injections. Look at everybody's face looks the same these days with the lips and the face that doesn't move.
Everyone has the same face now.
And the long hair, which no shame, because I actually do want to grow my hair out longer too. But
that's the thing. So I was gabbing on about this as soon as I got into the set, and Gabby was co-anchoring with me, and she's, well, do you look Max? And I had to think about it for a second too, because like, yes, I do exercise. I do like care, you know what I mean? I care about my appearance. And so it's almost one of those things where the phrase, they take it to a level that is just, they make it everything.
It bothers you because you got boys? Because like I could hear about that and I don't think I would think about it again. Do you want to noodle that for a minute? Well,
the reason I noodle it is because I catch my son, like, okay, he's 10.
Yeah.
And I have caught him, like he cares too, like in my mind, he cares a little too much. About his hair. You know how they all have that same hair right now? I call it the the alpaca haircut because it looks like an alpaca. It's called the high school teachers. I got some high school teacher friends. They call it the froof.
Maybe I was younger. I don't know if you same generation, but when I went to school, the boys always had the long hair and they'd flip it to the side.
Yeah.
Like the surfer flip.
Right.
So they've always done it.
Totally. No, I'm probably being paranoid because we're trying to like raise him with some.
Like I said, take him to the backyard and say, let's go kick the ball around and stop looking in the mirror.
This guy has a wild backstory, though. Real quick, I know we have to get to our first interview, but his parent, he started taking testosterone. This is clavicular. At age 14, he started taking testosterone. His parents caught him repeatedly, and it became a cat and mouse game where they would find his testosterone. He got kicked out of college for having steroids, this guy.
Yeah, how could you get kicked out of college for having steroids?
Because you're
gonna have them in
you're
your
18. You can't have steroids in your dorm room.
Okay.
No. But so anyway, he got kicked out. But he's like, this is a blessing in disguise. Anyway, he went back and forth with his parents. They could not control it. He'd get PO boxes and have the steroids off the dark web delivered there. So like. This is an extreme case, but it is a wild
obsession.
Yeah, it's a wild 2026 internet thing. Anyway. I can't think of I'm sorry?
We'll work through it.
We'll work through this.
Yeah.
And I can't think of the patented Mike Kaplan TV transition to go from clavicular and looks maxing to Six Flags Great America.
But we can just dive right in.
But I am a huge fan. I've been going to this place. Caitlin, have you ever been to Six Flags Great America on a story? I know it's on the other side of town.
No, not on a story.
I know we sent Gabby out there to ride the Wrath of Rakshasa.
I remember that.
Which is arguably the scariest coaster there. But they are celebrating 50 years. Six Flags. I've been going to Six Flags for a lot of those years, not quite 50. But can we rope Rachel Kenziora into the conversation? Rachel, yay!
Rachel, good morning.
It's getting warmer and warmer. How close are we to opening day?
We're getting really close. I'm excited. The weather this past weekend felt a little bit like spring. So we're getting close. We open for the season on April 25th.
April 25th. So we're about a month out. First of all, as we celebrate 50, I have to ask you personally, what is your favorite old school ride that's still at the park that dates back in the historic ride category?
Oh, that's such a good question. I think for myself, it would have to be the Whizzer. I don't know if you're familiar with the Whizzer.
Oh, I'm very familiar. Best introduction. It's got to be the greatest introductory roller coaster in the country.
No, that's totally it. It opened with the park in 1976, so it is also celebrating its 50th anniversary this season. But you're totally right. Like, it's the perfect first coaster for so many young thrill seekers. And I remember when I was in elementary school riding that with my mom. And it's such a unique ride too, because you get to share that seat in the train with somebody. You get to sit with somebody. So I have such fond memories of riding that with my mom. And I mean, here I am 20 years later talking about it and getting to celebrate with the park this year. So it's really full circle.
I wonder if, are we looking at, I think we're looking at the Wizard right now.
It looks like it.
That looks like
it. It's such a unique ride.
Wow.
Oh, it's so great. And I know the Demon went in at the same time. Caitlin, if you take your kids, this is where you start. Okay, it's not a scary coaster. It's a really just fun one. And it's got a kind of a very gentle drop, but it still gets kind of fast so your kids will feel, there it is right here.
Is there a height limit for this one?
I think it's pretty low because you do ride with your parents. Like, it's
darling.
Yeah, it's a really great ride. So anyway, Rachel, let's kick it off. What specific attractions or features are going to be in honor of this 50 years?
That's a great question. I think what's really exciting about our 50-year anniversary is that we're kind of celebrating not only 2026, but the last 5 decades here at Six Flags Great America. So from original attractions like the Wizard to our newest coaster that you mentioned, Ratha Rakshasa, that we opened last year. It's a record-breaking dive coaster. It's really a celebration of, the history of the park for the last 5 decades. And, we're celebrating people who visited to the park in 1976 for first-time visitors who are coming for the first time this year. And so there's really a lot of special and nostalgia and celebration to be had this year. And I think that's what makes it so exciting.
So is there a specific celebration? Like, is it the opening weekend that is going to be the full-out surprise for people who are coming?
That's a great question. So our 50th anniversary celebration is going to kick off June 20th this year, and it'll run June 20th through August 9th. And during that time, we have so much in store for guests. I think there's something for everybody. So we're going to have an all-new nighttime spectacular, which will feature a brand new stage show, a brand new parade, but also what I'm most excited about is for the first time, we're going to feature a drone show at night, Friday through Sunday nights. And it's the first time we're really having a drone show designed specifically for Six Flags Great America. And it's going to be truly spectacular.
That sounds super fun. I keep seeing footage of these drone shows.
Yeah.
They're absolutely unbelievable. Yeah. I've never seen one before, so this is a great opportunity to do that. I understand the ice cream parlor is coming back as well. I've been going to Six Flags probably every summer since I was young, like a child. I don't think I've been to the ice cream parlor.
Yeah, so that's actually something, when we were planning for our 50th anniversary, we kind of went back to 1976 and said, what were those key locations or parts of the park that people loved opening year? And one of those things was that there was an ice cream parlor, like a traditional ice cream parlor. And we haven't had it for the last couple of years. So we thought there's no better time than now to bring that back and get to experience that like guests did in 1976. Cool. And on top of that, we have exclusive food and beverage items that we'll kind of be having throughout the celebration, including limited time root beers. So something we also learned, as we prepped for this season is that in 1976, they did specialty root beers. And we haven't done that in a long time either. So we're going to feature a lot of those nostalgic throwbacks that guests experienced 5 decades ago.
Root beer is delicious. Okay, so we're talking about 50th anniversary. And are there going to be any discounts, any deals, maybe bringing the prices back to what they were 50 years ago? That's an idea.
You know what? That's a great question. And I always say, I think the best way to visit and experience the park is with a season pass, because not only can you visit one time, but you can visit from opening day, April 25th, to the end of the season. You can visit multiple times. And right now, through April 26th, if you buy a 2026 Gold Pass, you get it for the price of a Silver Pass, but you also get admission to all the parks in our region. So that includes Cedar Point and Kings Island and Canada's Wonderland. So not only can you visit Six Flags Great America for the entire 50th anniversary season, but you can also visit other parks in the region too, which is really spectacular.
That's great. So the deadline to get in on that deal is, what did you say?
Is now through April 26th.
Okay.
And you can see all the information and purchase online at sixflags.com/Great America.
We do usually go with a couple of the season passes, Caitlin, because I think
Cedar
it pays.
Point
Yeah, then it pays. And then, yeah, exactly. You could do a little trip to Cedar Point. There's so much history in this park, actually, as we take a look at some of the older footage.
There's Anthony.
There's me as a kid. That's the, is that the hay baler right there? There's the,
is that the first ride that we were watching?
that might be the Whizzer right there.
Yeah.
I love seeing this old footage. There was an old coaster called the Z-Force, I remember, the tidal wave, the shock wave. Mike Kaplan might be in one of these shots.
Right.
Rachel, I don't know if you know this, but our morning weather reporter, he was the amazing Alfredo. He used to work at the park when it first opened up. He still lives in that area, but he would guess people's height and weight to within like 1 percentage point.
And I forget how he used to work the system. Didn't he have a methodology about it?
He kind of had a methodology. I know the place is near and dear to his heart.
Yeah.
Okay, so any other new experiences that we can expect for year 50, Rachel?
Definitely. You know, on top of our nighttime spectacular and all of the delicious nostalgic offerings we're going to have, there's another cool thing that I want to talk about, and that's our Legacy Museum that we're having. So inside one of our locations in the park called Emporium, we're going to have a Legacy Museum. So it's really our opportunity to bring out and display and showcase like our cool memorabilia from the last 50 years. And, you know, we've had all of this cool, these throwback items and pieces of history that, you know, there's never been a great time to pull that out and kind of showcase it. But we thought no better time than the 50th anniversary to display it all and have guests kind of see, you know, maybe some artifacts they haven't seen for the last 50 years, or a ticket from opening day in 1976. You know,
So
these
fun.
really cool like historic artifacts that we've never had an opportunity
Because it opened up under the Marriott umbrella, right? Wasn't it a Marriott?
Yes, that's correct. It opened as Marriott's Great America in 1976.
Wow. Rachel, okay, so if there's a family watching, this is for myself really, never taken my kids to Six Flags, how should we go about planning our day? Do you guys have a map laid out on your website, or should we be purchasing special tickets for this summer? What would you recommend?
That's a great question. I always say, in terms of a season pass or a single day ticket, definitely go online and purchase that ahead of time, just to expedite your process when you get here. So you've got your ticket or your season pass taken care of. And then I always say download our mobile app ahead of time, because you can see all of the rides, all of the shows, every food location. You can see where it is. And if you really want to get into planning, you could really, in theory, plan out, when I get into the park, you know, I see that beautiful double-decker carousel that's also original to the park in 1976. And people either choose, do I go right of the carousel or left of the carousel to start my visit? And that kind of guides your visit for the rest of the day, which rides you're going to do, which food locations you're going to stop at. So yeah, I would download the mobile app ahead of time and just kind of decide, like, what do you want to hit for the day? What are your key points? And make sure you do it all in that day.
Double-decker?
Really?
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's you can tell it's got that vintage look.
Yeah.
It's so cool. It's really cool. They've got a big reflecting pool as you walk in. There's really so much history at that park. I'm glad you guys are commemorating this, because it's such a special place to so many here in Chicagoland. Rachel, thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you out there this season.
Yes, thank you so much for having me, and cheers to Six Flags Great America's 50th anniversary.
50 years in the books. Really cool stuff.
So fun.
Yeah, we're for sure going to go. There's also a water park there now.
Wonderful.
I'm surprised you haven't taken the little mini road trip up. You got to do it this summer.
Where we go? Michigan Adventure. That's where we've been going.
Oh, is that closer to you?
Yeah,
You know what?
it's
Your
about
kids
the
are
same.
still, they're so young.
Exactly. They've got the peanut section over at at the Michigan Adventure peanuts. Because my
Makes
kids,
sense. They're still too little for them.
They're tiny tots.
You got your window is about to open though.
To Six Flags, maybe. I mean, the drone show would be super cool for all ages. I feel like.
I want to see a drone show.
I bet it's really great.
We are going to take a quick break, but when we come back, this is actually, I'm very curious about this list. Wirecutter, the magazine Wirecutter, is releasing a pretty big list. The 2026 Best New Picks Award. So they reviewed something like 70 products based on best of the best. There's some. We get inundated all the time with like, here's an internet ad for whatever, and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
So this one really kind of boils it down. So we're going to be joined by the editorial director from Wirecutter, New York Times Wirecutter section. When we come back after this, stay with us.
Just about 10:23, and Wirecutter has today the launch of its first big awards franchise, the 2026 Best New Picks Awards. And to do this, they spotlight 71 products after testing thousands of products. The Wirecutter journalists do test these products over the past year. So the Best New Picks Awards are the culmination of rigorous, thoughtful product testing, and we're going to dive deep into what the testing involved and what products we're talking about. So joining us this morning is the editorial director, Lita Shai. Good morning to you.
Morning. Hello, everyone.
Hi. Okay, so first, before we get into how you guys tested these products, can you give us a general idea of what products you were looking at?
Yeah, so these products, our Best New Picks Awards are the very first awards franchise that Wirecutter has ever done in our kind of 15-year history, which is super exciting. And so these awards they're picks that are not new. They have, they're picks that are new on the site from across from the past year, but these are products that we've tested, we've rigorously looked into them, researched them. We've lived with them for the past, since they've been made picks. And so the thing that is so great about these awards is that these 71 picks are a culmination of the thousands and thousands of hours and testing that we put into making the picks that go on our site. And then these are the ones that our writers and editors can't stop thinking about, they can't stop talking about and recommending to their friends and family. So these are the ones that we really wanted to celebrate and shine another spotlight on them this year.
This is cool. I mean, thank you for doing so much legwork for the public on this. Yeah. All right, so there's like thousands of products on the site. You guys narrowed it down to 71, and then here on this segment, Lita, unfortunately, we can't go through 71, but can we have you guys pull out maybe 4 or 5 highlights for us to give us an idea of kind of what we'll find on that list?
Yeah, sure. I will start with a really great hair straightener, since I used it this morning. Okay. It is, our beauty team really loved this hair straightener. It's the Remington Shine. It overperformed. It performed better than a bunch of other hair straighteners that cost hundreds of dollars more. This one is like $34. You can get on Amazon, and we really were wowed by its performance. So that one was a great one. And in another budget, although it's a little bit expensive, but still kind of in the budget realm, our menswear writer found an entire suit for under $500 that surprised him in its quality. It has like kind of bespoke kind of features, like it's made out of 100% merino wool. It's got full canvas lining. And so when he was doing his suits testing, he tested many suits across many months. This one really surprised him for the quality for the price point. So that one's from Spear and McKay, and it's an online retailer. So you can't go in and try it, which is kind of a downside. But the idea that you could get such a great suit at such a great quality was really surprising, and really wowed our style team. That's
awesome. I love that. How about in the home improvement category?
Yeah. So we have a ton in the home improvement category. The one that I really liked is it's not a new product, but it's kind of new to our site. Our home improvement team really loved gaffer tape, which is kind of like an improvement on masking tape or painter's tape. It costs like $20 for a roll. You can use it across all sorts of DIY projects you have at your house. You can hold things together. You can tape things if you're needing to kind of see what projects will look like. It's just a kind of like nice DIY all-encompassing tool that you can just have in your drawer and use when you need. And we really loved that it had so many uses.
Okay, so I'm reading here that you guys you tested meat, like browning meat, and all the way from that to body washes. So if someone wants to go to your website, obviously thousands of products that they can search through. If they want to say, look for a robot vacuum, can they type in best robot vacuum, or is there like a search bar where they can get to your product that you list?
Yeah, totally. There's a search bar. You can go in and search for whatever you're looking for, whether it's robot vac mop, which we have in this Best New Picks. For the first time, we have recommended a robot vac mop combo, because up until now, they've been a little bit dicey in their efficiency and their kind of usefulness. But we really liked the Narwhal Frio Pro for that in that category. But yeah, if you're whatever you're looking for, I mean, the wire cutter really, our mission is to recommend what really matters across any part of your life. So whether you're looking for a suit or some home improvement advice, you can go on our site, you can go into the search bar, you can type in what you're looking for. You can find all of our recommendations from all the thousands and thousands of hours that we spent testing all these products. For Best New Picks, please go in and you could search Best New Picks and you'll get the whole entire list of 71. Again, it's across categories. So it's if you don't need a hair straightener or gaffer tape, there's definitely something there for everyone.
That's really cool. How many, out of curiosity, this is just such a Herculean effort by you guys. How many Wirecutter staff or other participants did you guys kind of mobilize to make this happen?
Uh-oh. She froze. Maybe she'll come back?
Obviously. There she is. Let's give it a few more seconds to resolve. Oh, no.
Yeah, so I'm impressed. 70 on the site.
Oh, no. Lita, I think we're losing your connection.
Oh, maybe... I'm so sorry.
Oh, wait, you're back. You're back. Okay, let's give it one more try.
I'm sorry about that, guys.
I had asked you how many folks were mobilized to make this happen.
Yeah, we have 170 journalists on our team.
Wow.
Everyone is always evaluating, testing, reporting. We evaluated over 10,000 products to get to the 71. So it was a months long, just nominating and evaluating and deciding on the 71 products was a month-long process, but the entire process took many, many months and lots of testing.
Okay, last question. When people are looking on your website for best of, do you rank it? So if someone's saying best of with the best price, for example, or best of because it is the best of the best, like, do you have different categories?
We do have different categories, yes. If you go on our best new picks roundup, you'll see that we have categorized them so you don't get super lost within the 71, but you can see everything from kids and pets to games and tech to wellness, beauty, style, all that good stuff.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
Okay.
Before we let you go, Lita, where can folks find the list? And do they need a subscription?
No subscription. Please go to nytimes.com/wirecutter, search for best new picks, and you'll see it there.
Beautiful. Lita Shai, thank you so much. Can't wait to check it out and peruse. Appreciate it. Caitlin, I know that you name. She names her robotic vacuum help.
I got a new one, by the way.
What did you name it?
Yeah. Polly Pocket Susan.
Polly Pocket Susan.
Yeah,
and this goes with what was it? Didn't you have
Sunny and Frank?
Yeah.
Sunny unfortunately bit the dust.
R.I.P.
I do those robots. 2 years.
They have a shelf life.
They
peter out.
Well, because I use them a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you gotten a lot of value.
But the reason why I asked that question is
because you need a new one.
And you do the research. I mean, the amount, to your point, the amount of options that we have these days.
This sounds like it's a vacuum mopping option.
Yeah, I've had one of those before.
Is that almost seems too good to be true?
Like my dad says about cars, if there's too many bells and whistles, something's gonna break.
Ooh.
It's kind of like that with those mop vacs.
Oh my gosh.
I had a cheaper one. This most recent one was a mop vac, but it would go over your rugs. If you could do like no-go zones, but then it's not gonna vacuum up your rug. And so because you don't want to get it all wet.
No.
But they do have fancier ones, and I had one of those too, which also broke on me. But it can detect where your rugs are, and it'll lift up the mop pads when it goes over the rug, and it'll vacuum, and then it'll put the mop pads down, and it's pretty good, I gotta say. But it didn't last. It broke on me. So
we haven't gone down this road, but I've always been curious about these.
Fairly passionate.
No, I think it sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, it's March Madness, everybody. How's your bracket looking? Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we are going to speak with the host of the Blue-Blooded College Basketball Podcast for all his insights into the Sweet 16, Mr. Ryan Hammer, after the break.
9:34. We're talking about brackets. Okay, so I made Anthony bring up his rankings, which I think he's beating me.
But I'm just looking at this now. I'm in second to last out of 55 people.
So yours is not good, but mine's worse.
That means yours is even. I mean,
so I've got 14.4%.
I've got 18.9.
And 360 points.
I've got 380 points.
So you're hardly in front of me.
I'm hardly in front of you.
And I haven't watched a lick of basketball.
Do I get credit for my 10-year-old who's got 470 points and is in 13th place?
Sure.
Partial credit?
Why not? And then also, I went Duke all the way, which we were just talking about how a lot of people are choosing Duke. I had no idea why I chose Duke. I was just going through because my husband was like, here, do a bracket. And so I was clicking through, like, based on the icon that I saw.
Yeah,
like, if it was cute.
Right, no, and a lot of times those brackets win. I'm sure
and
Ryan
I was
will
confident
agree.
this morning, and I knew we were going to be talking about March Madness. I was like, send me my bracket information. Where am I staying? I expected to be, like, just through the roof, ranked number 2 at the lowest. But obviously I'm not doing so hot. So I'm sure you did a bracket too. Those of you at home, maybe pull up your numbers and compare to ours. Joining us this morning is Ryan Hammer on March Madness because we got to break this down.
Yes.
How it's going
Hey,
so
Ryan.
far. Ryan, how's your bracket looking?
It's not at 14 to 15%, but it's not super high either. I think I'm at like 50 or something like that. So it's
not bad.
Listen,
Not
it's March
bad.
though. This is the stuff that happens, and brackets get busted. At some point, 99% of people are going to lose anyway. So
Yeah, okay. Theo, my 10-year-old's at least at 74%. He picked way better than me.
Actually really good.
And out of solidarity with my wife who went to Nebraska, I just had Nebraska going all the way, just out of, because it wasn't Duke. I mean, everyone in my bracket, I'm looking at now, everyone went with Duke except for there's a few Michigan people.
Yeah.
So Ryan, get us updated, man. We understand finally one of the number 1 seeds went down. Like we folks with no dogs in the fight. Like I went to Indiana, so they're not in it.
Yeah.
What's been your biggest surprise so far, sir?
yeah, no, the Florida went down to Iowa. It was a crazy game. The game's been awesome this weekend. The Midwest is great for you guys too. All the schools in the Midwest and the Big Ten are doing great. 6 different Big Ten teams, which is an all-time record for the Big Ten in the Sweet 16. They never had more than 4, so 5, let alone 6. Almost had 7 at one point. Also this year is unbelievable. Iowa, Nebraska, Iowa State, Illinois, Michigan, Purdue, like the Midwest schools that are all in there are putting on for the Midwest right now. So I love it.
Okay, Ryan, you said that the Nebraska-Vanderbilt game was the best you've ever seen. Can you please walk us through? Why do you feel this way?
It was unbelievable. I've never seen especially a first weekend game like that where the quality of basketball was so high. It was shot for shot, back and forth. Both teams were playing so well defensively and offensively. And then obviously the ending was unbelievable. Nebraska's entire fan base was there. It was basically a home game for them. And Tyler Tanner for Vanderbilt, superstar for them, had a career night. And he almost had a career moment, right? The half-court shot on the buzzer. The ball literally rattled in and out like 4 different times. And if you stop it, the ball was half in. Like it was half under the rim. It was crazy.
I was watching that in real time with my son. We were going crazy. And we all thought that went in for a moment there. Let's talk, though, about Iowa. What do you think here? Okay, so they knock off the defending champs. Do they have Final Four potential here?
At this point, why don't they? Right?
Yeah.
There's 3 Big Ten teams in there. They're one of 3 Big Ten teams in their region. Them, Nebraska, Illinois, and then Houston, who gets to play in Houston, Texas, obviously for the next 2 games, which they will be the favorite to come out. But they've beaten Nebraska already, They've played Illinois well. They're used to the Big Ten team. So why can't they come out? I think anybody in the entire region and really in the entire bracket has a chance to get to a Final Four. You've won 2 games already, and now you're 2 games away, so you have to replicate that just against better opponents. They look really good. They're super well coached. They're so disciplined. They're experienced. They got great chemistry, so they're a lot of fun to watch.
I'm curious, when the pressure is on during these games, is there any player that sticks out in your mind like, okay, he's the next Steph Curry, they're really shining during this tournament so far?
Yeah, there's guys that step up and they have big moments all the time. To say someone's the next Steph Curry is obviously always tough just because I don't know if they're going to become the best shooter in NBA history or anything like that. But There last year with Walter Clayton in Florida, he had his moments that he became this super person, like this super personality and hero for the University of Florida. Bennett Sturts has a chance to do that for Iowa, I think, is a great example. There are guys in Iowa State, which is another one. Taman Lipsey they call him the governor of Ames. He's from Ames, Iowa, 4 years playing there. So Taman Lipsey is another big one. And there's a bunch of players. Braden Smith at Purdue, Darius Acuff at Arkansas. We can go down the line, yeah.
All right, Ryan, we understand you've logged a lot of couch time, obviously this time of year. We want to know your own, like, I don't know, what's your protocol for putting in? I don't know, how many hours a day you've been putting in these last during the tournament, man?
Way too many. I have not missed a single game. I've watched at least a chunk of every game until they kind of get not worth watching. If I check my Oura Ring sleep or my Oura app, it probably won't be great for the last few days, but yeah. I'm not going to check that because I don't need to put myself into that. No. It's a lot. It's one weekend out of the year where it's crazy like that, so I can lose some hours of sleep and catch up on it the next couple of days before the Sweet 16.
Who do you think has the cleanest path to the Final Four at this point? You mentioned Houston. The next two games are essentially going to be home games for them.
Yeah, I think they're definitely one of them, and I think Arizona still, they were my pick to win the race, but if they play Purdue, it's going to be an awesome game. I still think they're the best team in that region, and physicality, size-wise, they should be able to come out. I would say someone in the East region, Duke, St. John's, Michigan State, UConn, but it's going to be dead even dogfight in D.C. this weekend, so I can't say any of them.
Okay, so who's going to win it all?
I'm sticking with my pick in Arizona. I don't have confidence in, like I said, Duke coming out of the East. They might be able to still because they're getting healthier. They're kind of getting acclimated to the second weekend. But if I had to go with someone, I'd still stick with Arizona.
What team in the Sweet 16 do you think have the most characteristics for the? Is there a standout Cinderella? I know, like, for example, Nebraska, not known as a basketball school, so they, even though they're, what are they, a 5 or 4 or 5 seed?
4 seed, yeah.
Okay, they're a 4 seed. So, normally we think of Cinderellas as like, 12 seed. There's been 13, 14 seeds to go really far in this if they can knock out.
That's always fun.
What team do you think has kind of the makings of a Cinderella this year, if any?
Yeah, it's tough with there's no mid-majors. Everybody's a big-name school in some capacity. I think Texas is obviously, they're an 11 seed. They played a play-in game. Like, they were one of the last 4 teams to get into the tournament at all, and they had to play their way in. So them being in the Sweet 16 is great. I think if they win another game, it's obviously a huge Cinderella run for them, and they've shown that potential to do that. But Nebraska and Iowa, like you said, are 2 programs that are hungry for this. Nebraska never won a tournament game before this year, and now they're in the Sweet 16, potentially the Elite 8 and Final Four. And Iowa, they had a great coach in Fran McCaffrey for 15 years. He never got to the Sweet 16, and then they get Ben McCollum, their brand new coach, in year 1, gets them to the Sweet 16. They haven't been to a Final Four since 1980. So they're both hungry for this, and I think they're underdogs because of it.
Do you plan on visiting any of these games in person? I'm just curious.
Yeah, the first weekend, I think I said to you guys, I like to stay on the couch. I like to be home and see everything. But this weekend, I'm headed to D.C. For the Sweet 16 Elite 8 to see Duke, St. John's, Michigan State, and UConn. And then the winner of them will play on Sunday. And then I'll go to the Final Four next week in Indianapolis, too.
Perfect. Indy is a great city. They host the Final Four and so many other sporting events in just a really cool Midwest style.
Oh, yeah.
Indy.
Yeah.
All right, before we let you go, Ryan, can you give us a little preview, your thoughts about Illinois, Houston? They face off Thursday night. What does Illinois need to do to perhaps upset the hometown team?
They definitely need to lock up defensively for sure. They did look better against VCU, a team that they're bigger and more athletic and objectively better than, so it's good. But I think offensively it's going to be hard for them. Houston, their defense is menacing. It is physical. It's aggressive. It's in your face, so it's not going to be easy for them. But if their guards can kind of break pressure and break that initial line of pressure, it should give them an easier time.
Okay, Ryan Hammer, where should we follow you and all of your travels coming up here?
All over social media on Ryan Hammer. You'll find my profiles all over, and Blue Blooded Podcast for sure on podcast platforms.
Okay.
Blue Blooded Podcast.
Thank you. Safe travels. Have fun, sir.
Good luck.
Thanks. Appreciate y'all.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We are going to talk about a new documentary on Netflix. It's got a lot of buzz right now. It's called The Plastic Detox, okay? It explores how reducing daily plastic exposure impacts fertility for couples and who are facing, and I think we all know a family that's gone through this, infertility struggles. So we are going to speak with Dr. Joseph Mercola, a board-certified family physician, and he wrote an entire book about microplastics and perhaps a cure for this or something to mitigate the negative effects of microplastics when we come back after this.
We hear all about microplastics, how it's in everything. It comes off of the packaging that we have our food in, the things you throw in the microwave, the utensils that we use to consume our food, the water bottles that we drink. It's everywhere. So The Plastic Detox is a new documentary on Netflix exploring how reducing the amount of plastic that we're intaking daily could impact your fertility for couples with unexplained infertility struggles, which is eye-opening.
A lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows somebody who has dealt with fertility problems. So microplastics are considered under 5 millimeters, and even smaller nanoplastics are now found in everyday foods, water, as I mentioned, the air we breathe. Okay, didn't know that. Joining us this morning is Dr. Joseph Mercola. He's a board-certified family physician and best-selling author of upcoming Microplastics Cure, Total Body Cleanse. Good morning, doctor.
Good morning.
Okay.
And you may not realize, but I'm a Chicago native, born and raised there, and did all my education right within the city limits of Chicago.
Oh, very good.
One of our very own. Okay, so microplastics, is this a concern that we should all have, and is it as big of a deal as we are being told?
Yeah, here's something that's going to surprise a lot of people. Every human being that's ever been tested for microplastic, every single one has plastic in their body. No exceptions. It's in our water, it's in our food, as you mentioned, and what most people don't realize, but you mentioned earlier, the majority of the microplastics in your body come from that very air you breathe.
Wow.
What?
Where is it in our bodies? Where
and
is
the
it
New England Journal of
concentrated?
Medicine, they published a study 2 years ago. That's the most prestigious medical journal in the world. They showed that people with microplastic in their arteries had a 450% increased risk of heart attack, stroke, or death.
Oh my
and sperm counts, which you referenced earlier, the fertility rate, they've dropped 50% in the last 50 years.
And you think microplastics are to blame for this?
Well, there's many variables that contribute to that, but they're certainly one of the most significant ones for sure.
You mentioned arteries. Arteries. Where, I'm just curious, when we talk about these microplastics, and there, you said 100% of individuals tested have it, so that means Caitlin and I have it in our bodies as we speak.
Everyone.
You've got it. Where is it? Where is it in my body right now?
Everywhere.
Well, it's in a variety of places. It's in most every single cells, one of the cells in your body. They have these little tiny helpers that capture it and retain it, but there's a large portion of it you process and you eliminate it in your stool. But depending on the size of the particle determines exactly where it winds up. So the smaller the particles are, the more likely they're to wind up captured permanently inside your cells.
Doctor, I've got to ask, because I've been concerned about microplastics, of course, as everybody is. Even these healthy companies that you can buy at the grocery store are making food in plastic. Are they not aware that plastic is bad for us, like you're saying, or is it just not something that we've taken seriously as humans yet? Do you think this is something coming up the road where it's like, hey, let's really put a pause on this plastic production?
Yeah, I think there is a lack of appreciation of the dangers, and there's not a significant research effort to bring this to people's attentions. Is one of the reasons I wrote the book, because it's an enormous issue. We haven't always had this. Shortly before I was born, they were only making about 1 or 2 million tons a year throughout the entire planet. Now we're to 500 million metric tons, and in less than 30 years or so, it'll be up to 1 billion metric tons. And all the plastic that's been produced to date since 1950, there's more than 1 ton for every single person alive. So it's a massive problem. It gets even more concerning. If you just look at simple pragmatic realities, is this doesn't degrade. These chemicals, the bond structure they have, there's nothing in nature that degrades it. Now, there's some exotic bacterial species they're doing research on to do this, but that's not the solution. So because of this, nature tends to the degradation is not to the chemical nature of the plastic. It just makes it smaller and smaller and smaller, and the smaller it becomes, the more dangerous it is to your body, and it lasts for centuries.
So before we get to the detox that you outline in your book, I'm curious about, you mentioned we pass a lot of these microplastics in our stool, but some of them are permanent. So most of the microplastics that are coming through our anatomy, it's a temporary situation, but some of this has been in us for years.
Well, depending on how old you are, sure. The younger you are, the higher the concentration is, of course. But interesting, the larger the particle size, the less likely it is to cause damage. As I said, the smaller it becomes, the more likely it is to penetrate into the cell itself. And once it's in the cell, it's a bugger to get out. We have a really good solution for it, but getting it out of the cells is the hardest part of the problem. We can get it out of the blood and the tissue. And there's really no other solution that I've been aware of. I've been studying this for quite a number of years now, and our team has been coming up with some novel approaches, not only of helping your body facilitate its removal from your biology, but also for detecting it and monitoring the levels in your body, because most of the tests are sensitive enough to detect the size of the particles. So the tests we have now are relatively primitive, and it requires some advanced technology to identify the really smaller particles.
Okay, let's dig in. How do we get this out of our body? What is your detox program about?
Well, our detox program is really quite simple. You want to, of course, do the conventional approaches. One of the most common sources is in a common source, not the most common, but water bottles are made of plastic. Not only does the plastic transfer from the water into the bottle, into the water, into your body, but once you dispose of the bottle, then you have this environmental issue. So then it just builds up in the environment and eventually degrades to the point where it's being deposited in the atmosphere, and you're breathing it in, which is the biggest one. And the more time you spend on the road is an issue too, because 1/3 of the plastics in the air come from the tires on the road. We've got 8 billion tires worldwide, and every time they rotate around, they disperse these synthetic plastic polymers into the atmosphere, and you wind up breathing them. If you spend a lot of time on the highway, you're going to be breathing a lot of plastic particles.
Wait, what's the solution to that?
I've driven those Chicago highways for many years. I went to the University of Illinois, so.
Do we get like a new, is there like a filter that we should be putting in our vehicle or something?
No, these filters these particles are so small, they go through even HEPA filters, they can't capture them. So they're really tiny. I mean, they can capture the big microplastics, but the smaller ones they can't.
Okay.
So that's an issue. But
we can't, obviously we can't just avoid travel, right?
Turn off your
But we can avoid.
And you can't avoid breathing.
And we can't avoid breathing. We can, however, avoid plastic water bottles.
Yes.
Do you yourself use a just glass water bottle or mug, porcelain mug? What do you do?
Well, I don't travel much. I'm a homebody, so I really do. But when I did travel, I would only use glass, or you can use stainless steel too. That would be another useful strategy.
Okay.
But you really want, and when I travel too, I try to always avoid plastic bottles. That would be a useful.
What
approach.
else? Because we, we're doing this segment at a time where we have done so many other segments, Doctor, about the oncome of gastrointestinal cancers, colon cancer, that kind of thing.
Absolutely. That's another component. There's, I think in lung cancers, they found 80% of lung cancers had it inside the tumor. And then you got pancreatic cancer. I think colon cancers was about 30%. So there's no specific correlation, but these plastics, they not only do they impair our hormonal components and lead to infertility, but they also cause inflammatory reactions, which clearly is a contributing factor for almost all disease, but certainly cancers.
Okay, so doctor, how do we get it out of our body? So you're talking about a detox. Obviously, avoiding plastics altogether is the first step, but is there a way to filter it out more?
Well, it's hard to filter out of the body, but you can trap them. My team and I came up with is a novel plant-based therapy that essentially traps the plastics, the microplastics, but not only that, they trap other particles like ultrafine particles, which are a major component of air pollution because it's not just microplastics, but they also trap the forever chemicals, the fluoride products, and heavy metals. So it gets all of these toxins because we swim in a toxic soup. And that's one of the primary reasons there's this massive increase in chronic degenerative diseases over the last century, because of this toxic exposures that continue to progressively get worse. So you can lead the healthiest lifestyle, but unless you're addressing these toxic exposures, it's almost impossible to be optimally healthy. So I wrote a book. It's called The Microplastics Cure, as you referenced. It's available now for pre-order on Amazon, and it's the whole therapeutic strategy will be available later this year. We're really excited about it.
Can you give us a tease of what's in there? Because
like a green juice?
my takeaway at this point, the only takeaway I have is to avoid using plastic water bottles, because I can't stop driving, can't stop breathing, obviously.
Well,
so what else?
No,
what else?
I know,
can
but
you give us a little more?
That's the dilemma. That is the dilemma. Because literally, if we were the most assiduous individuals on the planet and thought to apply all of those strategies that we know of and avoid plastic wraps on paper, on food, and all canned foods because they have plastic liners, the majority of it's going to come from the air you breathe. We all have to breathe, and it's over the entire planet. So it really demands a more comprehensive solution than not that you should abandon these strategies, but you need something more effective. And green juices, they're useful for other strategies, but they're not going to take out the plastics.
Okay.
So you need something to actually capture these plastics and these other toxins that we're exposed to. And by doing that and facilitating their excretion through the body in the stool, you can get them out of your body. It is not a simple strategy, and it took our team a long time to figure this out. And I published several papers on it too.
Okay.
So I don't know. I published so many papers. It's hard to remember where they are in the peer review process, because sometimes it takes 6, 7, 8 months before they get accepted.
Well, we're certainly on alert, sir. We appreciate your time this morning. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
And come back home and visit Chicago sometime.
Yeah, you can go to my website, Mercola.com, and you can sign up for a free newsletter there, because that's when we'll be explaining when the therapies will be available. So
okay.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. All right.
All right.
What do they call those remember during the pandemic we were wearing the
mask,
the
N94s.
N94.
He said that doesn't even help.
I just wonder what is even the. It's almost like I'm at a loss for what
it's not just the plastic water bottles. It's like, you know, when you get something that you heat up in the microwave.
Yeah, right.
Or your
we're careful about not heating up things in Tupperware and like putting it on a porcelain or glass, you know. Or
like you get the little microwavable rices and you put the plastic thing in the microwave, and
like think about like airplane food and but it's
everywhere.
Like,
it's everything.
If we're just breathing it in, I'm almost like, all right.
Forget about it. Well, I'm hoping that he can maybe give us a solution in his book.
Maybe.
That will get it out of our body. He said it's
plastic
in our cells,
detox.
but maybe it'll help that too. And it's spooky. It's spooky for sure.
It is. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. We have another hour of Chicago Now coming up right after this.
Hour of Chicago Now. The sun is shining finally, Anthony.
Yes.
The last time you and I were together, it was still cloudy out on Good Day Chicago. I'm glad that things came to fruition.
Things always even out in the universe.
They do.
You would hope. And things are evening out on Chicago Now because we are about to get really cultured here.
We are.
Okay, we're going to be speaking about the humanities. Okay, the humanities. And this comes the hour after I was fixated on looks maxing.
You were,
last hour.
yeah.
So we're going from literally like the lowest common denominator.
How we were talking about it earlier, and you still need to figure out how you looks max. I have a feeling there's something.
Well, I need to start smashing my jawbone.
Looks max. Please don't. Please don't. See, what doesn't make sense to me about that, because you were saying that they pretty much like tap and try to like, is it like fracture their bone essentially?
Yeah, microfracture their bones using a
That doesn't
hammer.
make any sense because like if you think about it, and maybe correct me if I'm wrong because I'm no medical expert, but with TMJ, you know, like obviously that's
TMJ exactly?
It's like with your jaw. I don't actually know the scientific term for it,
okay.
But essentially like it's bone on bone, I think, in your jaw.
Oh, that sounds painful.
And so like you're microfracturing. So it's not like your jaw's getting better when you have TMJ necessarily. It's just kind of like it keeps on progressively getting worse without treatment, from what I understand. So how this would make sense, I don't know. But anyway, that's for something else. That's for something later. All right?
Exactly. We're gonna.
Yeah, we're serious here. We're intellectuals.
Exactly.
Educated.
We're going to get cultured. So we have the Chicago Humanities It's a festival where they're going to bring in all kinds of, it's almost like, reminds me of South by Southwest or Austin City Limits, where artists, musicians, politicians, authors, TV
everyone.
hosts.
And I was looking through the lineup. It's very interesting. It's happening March 24th. What is it? Through June 28th. So you have plenty of time. It's happening throughout the city. And joining us to talk about it is Lauren Pacheco. I hope I got that pronunciation right. Chicago Humanities co-creative director. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you both?
Good, good. Like we said, the sun is shining and we're looking forward to warmer weather, which means also the Chicago Humanities Festival happening this summer as well, or this spring and summer. Let's talk about what's happening kind of, first, I guess, because you have some events coming up fairly soon in April, don't you?
In March, actually. So the Chicago Humanities has been bringing together people for over 30 years, creating space for thoughtful conversations and making the humanities accessible for everyone. And so we do this, as you mentioned, by inviting some of the most interesting thinkers, writers, artists into conversations with the public, creating space to explore big ideas and shared human experiences. And so our festival runs from March through June with 3 big festival days and programs across the city. This year we're in Bridgeport, South Side of Lakeview, and at Northwestern University in Evanston.
And is this a couple times a week kind of event, or is it happening maybe just every weekend?
It's throughout the week, so it may be a weekday evening or an all-day series of programs on a Saturday or a Sunday. So it really depends on how the schedule kind of shook up as we were curating it.
You know, looking at some of the pictures and again, looking at the rundown, I saw some local folks who were going to be, speaking. I saw some national names too, like Jill Biden, I think I saw on there. Tell us about some of the people, and maybe you can point out a few who are expected to come to Chicago and talk to an audience.
Sure. So we're really excited about the Spring Festival. And like I said, it's happening across 3 different parts of the city, and each one kind of has its own sort of distinct feel. So in Bridgeport, it's very neighborhood driven. So you can take walking or bus tours, explore the history and the architecture, and then engage in conversations about topics like housing and public health and the arts. In Lakeview, the focus lights shiftly towards some big ideas and public dialogue with conversations, including political thinkers, historians, and creative voices. And so some exciting sort of festival highlights are Tanika Johnson, a recent MacArthur Genius Fellow, leads a conversation on housing and racial inequity in Chicago. And international bestselling author Dr. Ibram X. Kendi discusses the harmful Great Replacement theory of Black and Brown communities, as well as a conversation on the U.S. Constitution series for all of the historical nerds out there, led by NPR host of Chicago's Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me, Peter Sagal. And some programs that I'm really excited about is with 2 chefs, Chef Padma Lakshmi from her historic run on Top Chef. And she will be in conversation talking about her award-winning book, which really defines what American food means based on her travels across the country. And another illuminating chef, Chef Curtis Duffy, will be in conversation at Northwestern, talking about this his sort of powerful narrative that goes beyond food.
You know, why do you think it's important to bring in names, again, from here in Chicago, like Sean Duffy, who you just mentioned, to those national names? Because you would think, like a big festival like this, you'd probably want to grab just people who are outside of Illinois even, or,
Sure.
national names. Why also bring in some characters that are from around here?
Yeah, well, I think it's really important to illuminate and lift up and uplift Chicago voices and perspectives, and to share out big ideas and small ideas that are happening in our neighborhoods. One of the biggest ways that the festival connects with the Chicago community is actually going into neighborhoods and partnering with local cultural spaces and organizations. And so, for example, in Bridgeport, we're presenting in places like the Ramova Theater, the historic Ramova Theater, and a beloved community space called Co-Prosperity Sphere. Well, folks will be offered an opportunity to enjoy a walking tour titled Bricks of Chicago, which really sort of forces folks to take a different look at our city and to view our neighborhoods in a different way by its aesthetics and its materiality. So it's really important to recognize that we have a lot of space to welcome many voices, not only the high-profile celebrity voices, but the most sort of beautiful opportunity about Chicago Humanities is creating that space for local conversations.
I would love to do that. What was it, Brick by Brick walking tour, Dilla's tour as well?
The Bricks of Chicago tour with Will Com.
That is so nice because you actually get to physically go to these places, not just see pictures of them and be lectured about them, correct?
That's right. And so we intentionally build our programming around issues that matter to Chicago and Chicagoans. So things like housing justice and public health and infrastructure and the arts allow us to bring national voices and local leaders to be in conversation together and to really remind ourselves and others why we love Chicago and why Chicago is a beautiful city.
You know, correct me if I'm wrong, because the Chicago Humanities Festival, it's been happening for years, right? And is it like the early 90s maybe is what I saw?
In the early 90s for over 30 years. We're celebrating our 36th anniversary this year, actually.
And how much has it changed since that beginning? I know maybe you haven't been involved personally since the beginning, but you know, even from the first startings of the festival, has it just exploded? And did it start as like maybe a week or a weekend?
It started as across 1 or 2 weeks, and through its years, it's become sort of a year-long type of presentation. I've been with the organization for 3.5 years, and I would say what's most compelling about the time that I've been with the organization is, one, I'm the first Latina and Chicagoan, born and raised on the south side of Chicago, to be in the curatorial position in this co-creative leadership model, which is an incredibly sort of trailblazing and, in my opinion, innovative approach to the way that we program. And then also really making deep investments and commitments in community. So going into Pilsen, into Little Village, into Bronzeville, Inglewood, really trying to bring our programming into other neighborhoods beyond the downtown area. So it's an incredibly impactful and compelling organization, and I'm really proud to be a part of it.
Yeah, well, congratulations to you, and thank you for doing that too. I should ask you, as co-creative director, how have you been able to choose some of the people that are coming for the festival? I mean, it has to be hard. There's probably hundreds of names to pick from.
Hundreds and hundreds. It can be an incredibly stressful and frustrating experience. We, my programming team, we send out hundreds, about close to 250 proposals, depending on the festival season. So it's a combination of reviewing upcoming new books that are released, books that are sort of resonate with us as a programming team, resonate with the city of Chicago, and then also just non-book conversations, right? Important voices that we'd like to invite to the conversation. So it's a combination of leading into and leveraging our network. It's a combination of doing a lot of online research and research out there in the city of Chicago, and sort of watching what our peers are doing in this space. So it's a lot of work, but it's work that it's necessary work that allows us to do the work that we're doing.
Oh, I bet.
I had to step out for a second, but I saw a couple of the headshots there, Lauren. Mm-hmm. Did I see Peter Sagal up there? I feel like I saw Rick Steves.
You did see Peter Sagal. That's right. He'll be leading a series
He's hilarious.
Of conversations.
Yeah, tell us what he's going to be talking about. And then I also met, there's Peter. I feel like I saw Rick Steves up there, the travel guy.
You did.
You did. Listen, if you are a Chicagoan and you grew up watching Rick Steves on Channel 11 and dreamt about visiting all of those places that he was sharing out, this is a bit of a dream show for me personally. But yes, he'll be in conversation talking about the hippie trail and his experience. And Peter Sagal from Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me will be presenting a series of conversations on the 250th anniversary of America, and we'll be presenting on 3 constitutional series. So very exciting programming.
Where do all these presentations happen? Are they scattered throughout the city, like in different locations throughout the months, or how does it work?
Yeah, they are scattered across the city. We do have some communities that we are returning to, like Bridgeport at the Ramova Theater or Co-Prosperity, a number of spaces at the Northwestern University campus, or you'll see us popping up at the University of Chicago or Illinois Tech. And then we have some beloved spaces that we continue to return to, like the Athenaeum Center for Culture and Thought in the Lakeview neighborhood, as well as the Metro. You may see us popping up at sort of non-traditional spaces across the city. So it's a combination of looking at timeline, schedule, availability, and an opportunity to share out what that community might offer for folks.
You know, Lauren, maybe a hard question, but I know you guys have had a lot of big names, obviously this year included. Is there anyone that you really want to have maybe in the coming years, or have someone who can return for the festival that really comes to mind?
Yeah, well, we're fully confirmed and booked for our spring season, but we're looking ahead as a programming team to our fall festival season. I'm very interested in uplifting and bringing to the festival Latino voices, especially during the Hispanic Heritage Month. Last Hispanic Heritage Month, we brought in Cheech Marin, the iconic comic comedian and a collector of the largest Chicano art collection. And you know, these are types of conversations that we would love to continue to bring, that highlights Latino perspectives and really allowing them to sort of connect with Chicagoans. But I do have a list of my favorites. I don't want to share it for fear of other
you don't want to offend anyone. No, I understand that.
Don't give up the secrets.
All right, if folks want to kind of map out, and I don't know if you have the lineup posted somewhere with the locations and dates. You mentioned everything's booked, but where can folks go to kind of get a lay of the land here if they want to attend?
Sure. So if you see one of these printed program guides out in the world, please grab it. It contains all of our programs, but then also online at chicagohumanities.org. You can check out the full lineup and really dig deep and plan out and sort of plot out your day, your weekend, and your evenings with us.
Awesome. And I know that some are already sold out.
Oh, they're already sold out?
That's right. That's right. But if you know someone, they can hook you up.
They can hook you up.
Second, Lauren. Okay. Thank you so much.
What's your number? Okay, before we let you go, your cell phone number, please. No, I'm kidding. Lauren, thank you very much. Hope it's a huge success this spring.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you for your time, too. Yeah, these are some cool speakers.
March 24th through June 28th. Yeah. And then you can look forward to the fall season as well.
The fall season, too. I mean, I can't. Chicago's centrally located in the country, so I'm just, the lineup, it looks like there's just so much variety on it.
And people actually love coming here and visiting. Like, there's so many times, even off camera, when we're talking to comedians who come in or actors, and they're like, we love coming to Chicago. It seems like they always look out, too, and the weather's nice. But how can you not love the city?
I know.
It is a fun place to be.
I like talking to our, we spoke with a musician last week that had one of her very first formative performances at Lollapalooza, right there where we were kind of looking.
Oh, so cool.
And hey, remember when Chapel Roan made a big splash the other couple, was it 2 years back where she was like the...
I think so.
I think it was 2 years
last summer.
ago.
Yeah,
it wasn't
had been the summer before. But time goes by quick.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we got some trending stories to get to. Chapel Roan among them.
Yes, she's topping headlines right now.
She's being talked about.
Maybe it's not her fault, though, necessarily. We'll get into it right after this break. Chicago now. Some trending stories. I do look forward to this every day because I like to hear people's perspectives, including yours.
Thank you, Gabby.
So, you know, we just heard that Chappell Roan is kind of making headlines again, but it's not necessarily her, Anthony. It's kind of her security guard.
Let's hear what are the facts we know.
This is the headline, okay? Chappell Roan speaks out after security allegedly makes a young fan cry. So essentially, Chappell Roan was at a hotel and she was eating breakfast. And this is actually one of her videos that she posted. I think it was on her story explaining the whole situation. I don't follow Chappell Roan. Maybe I should. Maybe I would have a little bit more information on this. But it says that is what you're looking at. She's kind of doing some pillow talk with us and telling us what happened.
I'm
and
trying to
80
think, okay.
pounds.
She must weigh, what, like 40 pounds?
It says right here, despite weighing under 60 pounds, Lucy has also squatted 150 pounds and bench pressed 85 pounds.
Okay. Okay. There always used to be and I don't know if this is an old wives' tale or what, but weightlifting before puberty was supposed to be no bueno because it's supposed to be stunning your growth. Now, I don't know if that's true.
Look at this little thing. Look at her. She has a belt on.
Psyched up.
And she's doing this to AC/DC's Thunderstruck, by the way.
Okay.
So yeah, this is for
let's
real.
See the grip. She go reverse grip.
Getting in her zone. Her dad's her coach. She also has another coach who is a bronze medalist, Olympian bronze medalist.
The alternate grip.
Yeah,
there.
okay.
That's good. All right. Hoist.
Let's go, baby.
This is wild. I mean, honestly, as long as it's not okay.
Come on, little Lucy.
Nice job. Whoa.
Whoa. Look at her little muscles.
my
She's
God.
so cute. Way to go, Lu. What a proud dad. I mean, how do
4 to
you
5
know?
training sessions a week.
When did she start training, first of all? That's actually what I need to know. But apparently she also trains, she wrestles 4 to 5 times a week is when she's training. Plus she does sessions at home with her dad, again, who's her coach. But things that she enjoys most about wrestling, winning matches and spending time with her friends in the sport. Isn't that cute?
It is. Okay,
She
so
likes
I will
winning.
say, with regard to this, her dad says that proper technique, long-term skill development, they prioritize that over chasing heavy numbers. So this may be kind of an exception because much of her training focused on calisthenics, which I think is totally, yeah, that's my wheelhouse rather than heavy lifting. So maybe this is kind of a one-off for her, but she's certainly got the,
Anthony, how are you doing with your calisthenics?
Not that great. I'm kind of stalled out right now. Yeah, I'm
Because
kind
what
of
was your goal? What was your goal to?
It's called a front lever, and it's basically where you can hoist yourself up horizontal off a bar. And so I've kind of backtracked. I was really close at the end of last year. I do think hopefully this year I'll get it, but yeah.
Because that was your New Year resolution.
It was,
not to call you out, but
I didn't get it, but I'm going to make it my resolution again this year, and I think I can get. We're doing this whole basement project. I don't have my pull-up. Like it's a whole. Yeah,
the whole situation has changed.
Exactly.
But you got to clock back in.
Got to clock back in. Gonna do it.
You know,
I'm kind of maintaining now.
A little friendly supplement might help you.
Little
Not anything like that, guys. Not anything like that. We're talking about
because we just got done talking about the looks maxer who
That's true.
He's been taking TRT testosterone since he was 14 years old.
That's crazy.
Okay.
But I think that is your looks maxing is
the calisthenics?
Yeah, I think it's your calisthenics.
So yeah, maybe we can call that
might be it. Also, the celebrity that I didn't take a picture with, Ashley Benson.
Ashley Benson.
But it was like when she was really popular with Pretty Little Liars, so it was a big deal. And no one believed me.
And was your group polite in approaching?
Yes, they were. Okay. And they're cute little girls, you know, like they're little preteens kind of thing that I was babysitting. Yeah. So it all makes sense.
That's sweet of you to take the picture. And
I guess it was.
On that sword.
This is a headline that we have been following since the beginning. Yeah. And, you know, there's been a little bit of a lull with Nancy Guthrie, Savannah Guthrie's mother, who's 84. Remember, she went, what was it, January 31st, I think, around the time, late January is when she was reported missing after what police think is her being abducted from her Arizona home. And did we just get some new developments this morning?
Yeah, let's see. Urging neighbors to revisit their memories. They released a statement. It's a new one. They're releasing, they're urging neighbors to revisit memories, possible evidence, asking the community to review security footage, messages, and then observations from key dates. So this is a smart strategy. It seems like, you know, these cases when the initial wave of publicity and early on in the investigation, but you see right there, no detail is too small. This is a smart move. It's literally like, let's keep this out there, jog your memory, and thank the public. So meantime, the Sheriff's Office in Pima County, they are continuing to analyze forensic evidence, lab materials, video footage, looking for any leads, DNA samples. Apparently the FBI is using or looking into the possible use of a Wi-Fi jammer.
Interesting. I wonder what a Wi-Fi jammer is.
It scrambles a Wi-Fi signal. So
maybe
that's interesting.
Well, you know, there was so much hope when we first saw the video camera still images, you know, of the person with the face mask on in their doorbell camera, because that was after we had heard that there was no possibility of getting that footage back, that the the person who, you know, broke in, the suspect had taken it off, and there's no like back file essentially. And then we got those images. We're like, okay, this is a better start.
Right.
And then they found that glove that was a couple miles away. That turned out to be nothing. It's too bad. I guess you could say it's kind of a double-edged sword. It's too bad that we don't have like eye recognition. You know, you have thumbprints and stuff like that, because the only thing you can see in that mask is the person's eyes.
Right.
So imagine
and eyebrows.
Scan that. Yeah, and eyebrows.
The person did have distinctive eyebrows.
But then also, I don't want anyone to know, you know, to be able to look at my eyes and know it's me, like scan my eyes. That seems scary too.
I've essentially like given up on like I'm like I don't even assume that I have any kind of privacy anymore.
Oh yeah, no.
You know what I mean?
No way.
All right, we're gonna go to a quick break. Some more trending stories when we come back right after this.
Alrighty, that was a very short break. We missed you that much, and hopefully you missed us too. We have some more trending topics, and this one is something I've been noticing too. And I wish we had Jake Hamilton here, because he would be able to break down and rattle off just all the TV shows and movies that have been filmed in Chicago, you know, back in the day, probably like 1920s, 1980s when it kind of resurged. And then now, again, things are happening.
Booming. Film production companies in Illinois spent $703 million in 2025. That is a 25% increase since 2019. 18,000 industry jobs. That is awesome. Do you have any friends who have been extra? Like I've got a few actor friends that have appeared in Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, like things like these shows.
But someone told me to join a Facebook group one time. This was like years ago when I was an intern here. And they're like, you should join this Facebook group because you can potentially be an extra in like Chicago Fire, Chicago
I've always
PD.
wanted to do like a, you know, the reporter.
That would be cool.
I've always wanted to do that.
And we can do it with our
That's the one part I could play.
Yeah.
We could do it with our...
We could do it, yeah.
Oh,
this
cool.
Tia and I had this conversation on air not too long ago with the talent agent that was on. And she's like, you know what? I'll keep you guys in mind.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, cool.
Because we just do our thing. This is, okay, so J.B. Pritzker is taking a victory lap here. He is crediting the growth to the Illinois Film Tax Credit, which offers a 35% transferable credit for productions filmed in Illinois, and he's extended that to through 2039. So almost all of the crews are taking advantage of this tax credit, so it's basically making Chicago, and we have the most photogenic city.
We do.
And
are good-looking people.
Good-looking people here. Illinois is invested in studio infrastructure as well, the Illinois Soundstage Capital Grant Program, so that's $10 million for upgrades to that, and they even offer extra incentives in Illinois for environmentally friendly filmmaking, which provides another 5%.
I wonder what that kind of means. I bet Jake Hamilton. Yeah, that's true. And we just saw right there, Sin-Space Studios, you know, we've heard a lot about that, and a lot of people in the industry have credited that space to kind of, what am I trying to say? Like, you know,
drawing a lot of business.
Drawing a lot of things up and kind of, you know, starting things up again, because I was looking at just some of the shows that are being filmed here right now, or have in the last like few years at least. The Bear, of course.
Yeah.
The Shy.
Where is? Do you know exactly where this is? Because I have not.
Deli Boys.
Is that the west, like?
I think it is
area.
No, I think it is on the south side, isn't it? So we'll have to look it up.
The
Deli Boys
brothers.
And recently we've been talking about Mr. Throwback, which is with Steph Curry. That's being shot here in Chicago, which is super exciting. Okay. Yeah, I don't know when it's supposed to come out.
He saw a movie with his mom on Saturday called Goats or Goat. It's with Steph Curry, he said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think this is more like documentary style, if I'm not mistaken. But it's been a little bit since we talked about it. So maybe we'll have a comeback, kind of like the 80s, 90s. Is 80s, 90s? That's when like the
hey,
Brothers,
listen, all the what?
Ferris Bueller,
Home Alone, Uncle
like kind
Buck,
of the heyday, I feel like.
Uncle Buck. What else? There were all those John Hughes movies that featured Chicago. Oh, hey, Adventures in Babysitting, weren't they? Wasn't that was filmed?
Never
I remember
watched it.
The Stone Container Building, or the whatever it's called, right here on Grant Park. That was one. Yeah, there have been a bunch.
So the money talks, people.
Yes, okay,
money
good
talks.
job,
If you have a movie or TV show idea for Chicago, I guess pitch it. You'll
okay, here's something else.
A lot of money, but you also need a lot of money. Oh yeah, okay. Grandparents happy hour. This is funny because I was talking about this with a friend just the other day. Like, you know, if I have, this sounds horrible, and I don't want you to judge me. Okay, I'm a young person. I have maybe a different perspective on this, but I'm like, you know, when you're older, going to a really nice nursing home would be kind of nice, or assisted living home would be like someone nice, or maybe like 65 plus, because it's almost like being in a dorm room again. Yeah. You know, if you're healthy enough.
A lot of people say it comes full circle. You know what I mean?
We also know that there's a lot of horrible things that have happened in nursing homes as well, right? But having a happy hour, and I thought that already existed in a lot of places.
That's so funny because I was running.
You're an adult.
So here we go. There's this woman's testimony is going viral. Anita LeBrun is her name. She lives at an assisted living facility in Minnesota. She spoke at the State House in support of a bill that allows alcohol service in group homes. I had the same exact reaction as Gabby. I'm like, wait, that doesn't exist?
But I think we're thinking of like craft hours and like movie hours. I know there's music hours and stuff that happen at some of these like older
it's just
homes.
You know, I guess I've never gone through this thought process where you're like, if you really consider, should there be booze, an objectively unhealthy thing? I mean, there's no upside to this. I mean, socially, I guess that's the one upside. But she argues that older adults in assisted living should have the same freedoms as others, including happy hour.
That's true, and you
they
can't
can
offer
go
it to
out and
some
have
and then
happy hour.
Not offer it to others too that are in the facility. Maybe NAs.
NAs.
You know?
Okay, so a video of her testimony posted on our sister station, our friends up at Fox 9. It went viral. Supporters of Anita's echoed her sentiment, emphasizing that residents are not prisoners. They should be allowed simple pleasures like having a drink. So that actually seems reasonable to me.
Oh, and this is the video here.
Oh, okay.
Okay, there it is. Yeah, but that was the video by Fox 9 reporter. You know, we'll have to follow this story because this is an interesting one. Again, something that I just assumed was already happening. Maybe it's not happening.
Most happy hours without a liquor license. Well, it's working its way.
Again, you know.
State capital. Okay. So if passed, the bill would require facilities like nursing homes and assisted living centers to obtain state approval before. I mean, yeah, that if there's a process, and the family members approve.
Yeah, and your doctor approves because I definitely like medication could play a factor here. You're not supposed to drink, period.
They have earned it.
Yeah, you're right.
These are older Americans.
You're right.
Yes.
What's up with the little liquor in the cup?
Oh man.
You know.
Taylor Frankie Paul.
This
is a name I didn't know at the beginning of last week, and I'm ready to kind of not know it.
So. You know, and maybe I shouldn't just kind of like ad-lib this part because I might have some details wrong, but essentially, maybe you saw the post by TMZ, which is, okay, here it is right here.
In case you hadn't, get to your screen now.
So this is Taylor Frankie Paul. She's essentially having kind of a domestic dispute with that man right there. That is her ex-boyfriend. Dakota, what was his, Mortensen, I think it is. And so that was, I think, a few years ago. That video has since resurfaced, and he released it now that we're super close to the Bachelorette airing, which she is the Bachelorette of this year's, for this year's Bachelorette season. Anyway, so he releases this. It shows that her daughter's, you know, kind of involved with that domestic dispute. She's sitting on the couch. She inadvertently gets hit by a stool, right?
Yeah.
I think in that video.
That's the word.
Anyway, obviously this is going to cause things to blow up. So her season has been canceled. Just, I think, was it days before it was supposed to premiere? Her show
exactly. She was doing all the publicity rounds. I remember seeing her on the Mark Consuelo's Kelly Ripa show last week. The day before, I think, the Bachelor
everything blew up.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, exactly.
That comes to question what happens to all these contestants, right? Because there's 22 contestants that were probably banking on becoming influencers.
Oh, sure.
Fairly
now
famous.
they're all
you know,
And their
during the
season's
season.
gone.
The season's already been wrapped up. Obviously, they did all the recording for it. It cost, I think, ABC like $450 million or something, I think.
Oh my God.
Something outrageous.
I never thought about that. The
and
fact that like everyone, not just her, it's not just her season, it's everyone's season who was on that show.
Yes, this is a note from our producer too. Could you imagine quitting your job? So these contestants, a lot of time, they quit their job, thinking you're about to be an influencer now because you're on The Bachelorette, telling all of your coworkers, your friends, your family, and then this happens, right?
Karma.
It would be really hard. So all 22 contestants were called into an emergency virtual meeting with producers, including lawyers, to discuss the situation. Contestants were reminded that their contracts remain active for a year, enforcing strict confidentiality and prohibiting public discussion. So executives stressed the importance of following network rules and guidelines moving forward. So it's pretty much like a, hey, we're still watching you people.
And you can't speak out.
Yeah, they did, I guess, offer an aftercare team, what they called. They held a seminar to support contestants emotionally following this cancellation because, again, they have to be very fragile. They might have just banked on this going really well for them. Now, some of the contestants are being considered for Bachelor in Paradise.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the spinoff.
Oh, I get the hypothetical there.
And then you don't know what's going to happen with the future seasons because I think that like the first runner-ups essentially, or whoever's like doing well with like I think
right, there's
ratings
crossover
and stuff.
Yeah.
Then they become the next.
That's a really fair point. The amount of destruction that this situation has left in her wake, because that I mean. There's all those other contestants. They probably quit. You know, like Adina mentioned, you quit your job,
but
you sacrifice your life, and all of a sudden the season gets canceled because of this.
But I do have some breaking news because we do have a new Bachelorette. Do you want to see a picture of her?
Sure.
Can you guys bring in Antonia? I think we have a picture of her.
Antonia.
Yeah. So she's the new Bachelorette. Does she look familiar to you, Anthony?
No.
This is the female version of our own Anthony Ponce.
Stop it.
Yeah, I put it into ChatGPT. Isn't that crazy?
That's supposed to be me.
You're
as
showing
a
a little much, actually, now that I'm looking at it a little closer. Okay, put yourself to camera, whatever this is. 12. Yep. Give the smile. So Antonia is now going to actually take over.
That's the new Bachelorette, yeah.
Or maybe it's Antoinette. I don't know.
Is this an app? Is this an app?
It might be. It's kind of maybe a secret little thing I did. But we also, you know, since I did you, I also had to.
Do you see
I'm
that? Do you feel like that's me?
Somewhat.
I guess it could be my
totally
sister.
see it. But
Have you seen my real sister?
Yes, I have. She's
we
beautiful.
we do resemble. We used to look very.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, since I'm self-interested, I also had to do myself.
Oh, let's how we got.
So this is Gabe, who's going to be the Bachelor, probably.
Gabe.
Probably next.
Antonia
next
and Gabe.
year. So here he is.
Oh my gosh, he's handsome.
Hey, he's a handsome cat. I have to say.
Handsome guy.
Yeah.
Wait, can we do a side by side?
Okay.
Let's do a side by side here.
I'm waiting for my angle, you
There's your
guys.
camera. She's ready for her close-up.
I'm waiting for this all day.
Come on.
Anyway, yeah. So they're the new kids on the scene. They might do well. This is a Fox spinoff though, because we really don't watch the other competing networks version.
No.
This is like the I don't know.
There you go. Here's your side by side. You got to tilt your head the right way. There you go. Perfect, Gabby.
And you know how I thought of this?
His eyes are downturned. Yours are more up.
Well, again, this is the male version of me. Maybe I'm a little tired in this.
Okay, maybe you're like, because his go like down, yours go up.
Yeah, maybe it's like prominent eyebrows.
I mean, I guess the guy could be your sibling.
Oh, maybe
Gabe.
I'm looks maxing. That might be it.
Looks max. Yeah, actually, there is a thing where they like do.
That might be it. That's probably the reason. The reason I thought of doing that is because, and I don't want to give it up. She's probably not watching. She's in Florida. Actually, she's at officer training because my friend's in the military. For her bachelorette party, I'm like making all the girls into guys, and I'm doing like a quiz, like, all right, which like guy version, male version of our friends would be like doing this in this scenario. Does that make sense?
Wow, that's a.
I'm just starting
quite a hypothetical leap there.
Yes, but I'm making. So I'm using my different apps. They're kind of secret because I don't want you to get a hold of this. Might be dangerous.
No.
To turn these female friends into male friends.
Males.
and then do a little fun game.
How would they act? The male version of themselves?
Anyways, yeah.
Okay. All right.
So
keep us posted on that,
much success to, what did I say, Antonia?
Antonia
Yeah,
and Gabe.
Antonia and Gabe.
And Gabe. That's
their next venture.
I really didn't realize.
They
you did a good
things for
job,
Fox.
like degenderizing our names. I didn't realize. That's right. But you're right, Antonia and Gabe.
I was.
That was perfect.
Just came to mind.
That's amazing. All right, we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, Champions of Magic, Impossible Illusions. They are live on stage here in Chicago. They're internationally acclaimed, and they're visiting us right here.
Live on stage right here.
Right here when we come back after this.
Has a unique serial number, something to help identify it, right?
Yes.
Will you do me a favor? Will you read off that serial number, and I want to write it down.
Okay.
Read it off to me.
Q I 1 8 8 9 6 6 9 8 A.
All right, I've got it. QI188966988A. And now I want to keep this in plain view, so will you just do me a favor? Hold on to this.
You got it.
And you can actually hand that to him.
Okay.
And if you'll hand me that bill, we're actually going to do one more further. We're going to make sure that you have a receipt to hold on to this. So I'm going to just, I know this is, I don't think it's illegal. We're going to just tear this corner off.
Uh-oh.
If it is illegal or not, it's happening anyway.
This is actually going to go to Fernando, and you are going to keep this corner for yourself.
Okay.
Hold on to that.
All right.
Put it somewhere safe. And Fernando, take it away.
All right. Yep. Now, I am going to try to make your guys' $5 bill disappear. But I'm going to do it in a very unique way.
No, no, Fernando.
Now, don't try this at home. Obviously, money is full of bacteria, right? But you don't need to worry, because Fernando actually has had everything you can imagine. So he's like a walking petri dish at this point.
One second, working on it. Well, if I grow 6 legs next week, you know why.
Yeah. Fernando.
1 second, almost there. Oh, I do have this for one of you.
Okay.
Almost
Me
there.
or Anthony?
Let's do you.
Listen,
Okay.
my hands
Your
are
hands
full.
are full.
Hold on. Almost there.
Chew it all the way. We don't want you choking on
look,
here.
the Joker fell into a toxic, vast Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's
by a
right.
radioactive spider. I just ate a bill. Okay.
Well,
Make sure I get all the way up.
you're not going to projectile vomit.
No, I won't. But I just want you to make sure the bill's actually gone.
Okay. Oh, yep, and I see the remnants even.
Mm-hmm. I was trying to get it all.
Nice.
All right.
Now, in the late 1800s, Houdini was in town, and he did a very, for my next trick, a very famous needle swallow trick. Where he would take needles and quite literally swallow them and then reproduce them. I'm gonna try to do that. Here we go.
Is he sure?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, he's sure. It is a real needle.
Gosh.
Just like before, I want you to check.
Okay, you got it, man. Yep, she's a goner.
Okay. Now it is time for some morning fishing.
Oh my God.
I don't know where this is going, Fernando. I'm going to be honest with you.
It's okay.
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 What?
Only one of us needs to know.
Oh no.
Oh.
Don't you help me out?
Just pull it?
Slowly.
Okay. All right.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
No. With the needle?
Oh boy.
With the needle.
No way.
Now, I'll be as clean as possible with this.
Whoa.
Watch,
No,
the
because I
needle
saw
is
it shoot up in your
actually
mouth.
pierce through. And
No.
there's only one way to know. Does your corner actually match?
And I don't want to
bill.
touch it.
That's
Fernando,
okay.
I'm sorry.
Look at that.
There it
We
is.
got a
She
close
is a
up.
perfect fit. Right there. No way. So are these the kind of tricks that you're doing at the show?
Oh my gosh.
Obviously, right?
Yes. And look, obviously,
I'm gonna rewatch that.
there is a perfect match, even with the serial number.
Yes, that's right. We got the same.
Look. Yes.
QI1889.
Okay, guys, for the show, because I have a feeling after them seeing this, they're going to be very interested. Is this for all ages? Is this more of an adult show? What can you tell us?
It is a family show. There's something for everybody. Now, normally we play really big theaters, 3,000-seat theaters. This, the Studebaker Theater, is a very intimate venue. It's only 600 seats, so there is no bad seat in the house. It's a very interactive show. There's something for the kids, for the parents, for the grandparents. Literally our opening show, we use 100 random people from the audience. So if you like being involved, this is a perfect
Abby
show
loves
for you.
being involved.
There is,
I do, but I don't want to hang.
Just for today, for anyone watching today, if you go to championsofmagictour.com and enter the password FOX, F-O-X, you can get 25% off your tickets.
Oh, very, very
Listen
good.
to that. Thank
Very,
you,
very
because
good.
I know that
Of
people are going to
course.
take advantage of that.
Don't miss it.
And Liberty, I know that you grew up in the famed Magic Castle in Hollywood. I remember seeing that as a kid. We don't have much time, but how do you bring a little extra, to the stage?
Well, I love bringing some of the history of magic to the stage, not just the history of my family, but magic in general. And I grew up watching magic my whole life, and what's so exciting about this tour is I've never seen people approaching magic like this group. And so when I joined, it was just so exciting to see
So
it.
you're a lifer. This is in
I'm
your
a lifer.
DNA.
I got the tattoo.
This is in your DNA. Your
is.
folks, your family.
Yeah,
like
great-grandparents, yeah.
you couldn't outrun it.
No.
Run,
but I
the
can't
apple
hide.
doesn't fall far. Okay, once again, where do folks head for tickets to your show?
championsofmagictour.com.
Yeah. Now,
Very impressive.
you can see everything from large-scale illusions, people appearing, disappearing, magic happening right in the middle of the audience, large escapes, visual illusions, close-up magic. There's literally a little bit of something. Now, it's a huge spectacle full of pyrotechnics, so we'll see.
Okay, Fernando, Liberty, thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you,
I know we didn't
guys.
get through it all. Maybe we'll do an extended version on social media, okay? Thank you all for coming with us today on Chicago Now. We will see you tomorrow on Tuesday.